Hi, welcome to my Atkins Diet videos, and today's episode really comes out of some of the controversy that has grown up within the Atkins Diet community. We like to think of the Atkins Diet followers as a part of a low-carb family, as within any family there always comes to be some debate or some controversy, especially after the patriarch of the family, Dr. Atkins himself, has passed on. So it's difficult to go back to Dad, go back to the patriarch to see what the actual true answer is. So within that, there's been some controversy that has grown up over exactly how many vegetables are allowed within induction. If you go to the 2002 Dr. Atkins New Diet Revolution book, which I consider the Bible of the Atkins diet, rule number 3 of induction is eat no more than 20 grams of carbohydrates per day, most of which should come in the form of salad greens or other vegetables. You can eat approximately 3 cups loosely packed of salad or 2 cups of salad plus 1 cup of other vegetables. Please see the list of acceptable vegetables on pages 125 through 126. Unless you think that's the only time that he mentions specifically 3 cups of vegetables per day. On page 61, he also mentioned, even during induction, the first phase of Atkins, the one which is the most restrictive of carbohydrates, most of you will still be able to eat 1 cup of those vegetables daily, as well as 2 cups of salad vegetables, or 3 cups of salad vegetables. There it goes on. On page 111, second, whereas during induction you ate your protein and fat foods plus 3 cups of salad vegetables, 3 cups of salad and other vegetables, and the special foods such as avocados, olives, and sour cream. All allows you much more choice. So again, multiple times throughout the book, he mentions 3 cups of vegetables over and over and over again. However, if you go to atkinsdiet.com, which is the website for the Atkins Diet Nutritional Approach Company, you'll go to their Induction How Do You Do It webpage, and here are their rules for induction. What do you eat during induction? You'll satisfy your appetite with delicious, healthy foods, starting with protein, chicken, turkey, lean beef, always irritates me, fish, shellfish, pork, veal, eggs, and a variety of vegetable proteins. You'll enjoy natural fats, olive oil, safflower, butter, and avocados, and more. And finally, you'll eat leafy greens and vegetables. Salad greens and non-starchy vegetables should make up around 12 to 15 grams of net carbs per day. See the acceptable foods list for phase 1 for more information. Did you see what just happened right there? Rather than mentioning anything regarding cups or 2 cups of salad vegetables plus 1 cup of other vegetables, they grouped them all into one large group of vegetables, and they also said, eat 12 to 15 grams. Eat as much as you could to get those 12 to 15 grams per day. Well, that's the controversy. Is it 12 to 15 grams of salad vegetables per day? Or is it 3 cups of vegetables per day? Albeit, admittedly, with those 3 cups of vegetables per day, you could eat, you could be in the 9 grams of carbohydrates per day range, or you could be in the 19 or even more if you weren't paying yourself attention on which ones you were doing. Obviously, on the other vegetable side, you have some higher carbohydrate vegetables like onions and tomatoes, which could really boost up your carbohydrate count for the day. So, which is it? And for my personal belief, here's my side of this controversial side of the subject, which, if you're outside the Atkins Diet community, you might not even think twice about it. I always personally found it easier to measure in cups, which is by rule more of a volume or site measurement, as opposed to trying to work down to the last little bit of carbohydrates per day to make sure that I wasn't going over that 12 to 15 gram limit. It was a whole lot easier to know, well, here's my 3 cups of vegetables. I could either have a cup at each large meal of the day, or I could have a few more at one meal and less at the other meal, as opposed to trying to figure out, well, I'm going to have 7.5 carbs here and 5.5 carbs here, and that leaves me 2.5 carbs for supper. Well, that's kind of a little bit more mathematical and a lot more difficult to do and hit on the topic. Plus, I think some of the desire to make induction perhaps more acceptable and less restrictive in terms of which vegetables you do, makes it more owl-like ongoing weight loss phase, and thereby discourages perhaps some people feeling the restrictiveness of induction and thereby pushing them to go on to the ongoing weight loss phase. It perhaps encourages them to stay on induction longer as opposed to encouraging them to perhaps see the restrictiveness of what the phase that they're in and push them up into the ongoing weight loss phase, in which the first rung there is to simply have more vegetables. A lot of these people should go through induction for 14 days and then progress on. Where if you gave me the choice of staying on induction, but I could have all the vegetables I wanted up to 12 to 15 grams, and let me tell you exactly how much you could fit in underneath the 20 grams of carbohydrates per day. That's 64 spears of asparagus, or 6 cups of cucumbers, or 44 cups of iceberg lettuce, or 52 cups of spinach, or 400 radishes. I mean, you get the point. The amount that you could fit within that 20 grams of carbs per day is astronomical. And therefore, the point to push them into the ongoing weight loss phase is perhaps lessened if you say, hey, guess what, you can have all that stuff on induction. No, the whole point is to push them off to the ongoing weight loss phase to figure out what the total carbohydrate they can have for the day is, as opposed to letting them linger on the induction side. And that's also attempting to, well, they always say, no one gets fat on eating asparagus. No one gets fat on eating vegetables. And while that may be true for some, that might not be true for others. And when do people actually come to me and this whole 3 cups per day arises in any of my conversations? If someone comes to me and they're having a successful induction period and they're losing all the weight they want, usually I'm not reviewing their menus. Usually I'm saying, great, good job, keep going, do what you're doing it right. If you come to me and say, I'm just not losing like I wanted, I'm either stalled or I've only lost 1 pound on induction. I was counting on losing 5 to 10 pounds on induction. Those are the people that are asking me to review their menus. Those are the people that I am trying to put them in the most likely successful group possible, as opposed to potentially making them the most possibly satisfied on their induction menu possible side. So what am I looking at? Maybe I'm cutting out even some legal things, like if you're eating 4 ounces of cheese per day, maybe we restrict that to 2 ounces for those people that are having a difficult time on induction. Well, the same happens to be the case on these vegetable periods. Maybe we need to focus on just getting them their 3 cups of salad vegetables as opposed to potentially eating the 6 cups of cucumbers per day. Let's make sure that they're the most successful possible as opposed to potentially making them most happy on induction food choices. And again, the final thing I'd like to say about the whole controversy of the 12 to 15 grams versus the 3 cups is that I've gone to their website, and one of the things they kind of miss is the fact that Dr. Atkins specifically listed 2 cups of salad vegetables and 1 cup of other vegetables, a 2-to-1 ratio. If you look at the website, it just simply eats 12 to 15 grams of vegetables per day. Not necessarily saying you should have more of these vegetables and less of these vegetables. Is not potentially maximizing the amount of vegetables that you're eating per day. It's just simply eat this amount of vegetables per day. And I think the three cups approach kind of promotes ensuring that you have the right ones per day as opposed to just having them per day. Well, that's my side of the controversy. I'd be more than curious to see what everyone else thinks about this, and feel free to put comments below or do a video response to me. I'd like this dialogue to continue, because this certainly isn't just what Kent thinks is what is gospel. There's only one person that can say what gospel for the Atkins diet is, and he's unfortunately passed on. So put your comments in the section below, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Good day.